did he say?
What did he answer? He said, if you know what I know, it would be different. I told him, the Rebbe told him, as I mentioned before, the Rebbe said, anything that you're going to tell him, we know before, and anything that you're going to give him, the Rebbe said, one concession will bring another concession. And once you start concessions, there's no limit how far that's going to go. And therefore the Rebbe says, you don't start with concessions, you stay strong with your opinion, you do what you have to do, and that is going to settle the thing. And the Rebbe brought him proof from different wars. From the Yom Kippur War, the war in Lebanon in 1963 or 73 was, whatever they said, whenever the Jewish people, the Jewish state came up with a strong hand, that come the Arabs and they stopped doing what they were doing. Yes?
So did the Rebbe ask what to do with the millions of Arabs that are living in the West Bank? What to do with them?
Yes, the Rebbe's opinion was that we have to find legal ways how to transfer them either to Egypt or to
That'll go down well. That'll go down well.
What?
That'll be a popular move.
That'll be. We still have people that want to do it now. And the Rebbe said that there could be legal ways of doing it, at least to get a certain percentage that they should leave.
Give them enough dollars, they will.
Huh?
Eventually, if you give them enough dollars, they will.
Yes. Let me tell you one thing. You know that whenever I go to Israel, I go to Israel quite often, and I always make it a point to be in Hebron. First of all, of course, Hebron is Hebron, the holy place of our forefathers, and my mother was born in Hebron, so I have a little special emotional attachment to Hebron. I was there just 6 weeks ago. I was there a year ago, then I was there 6 months ago, then I was there 6 weeks ago. I see an empty city. I was shocked. So I asked some of the community leaders, what happened over here? The Arabs said that when our young people attack the Jewish people, we suffer more than the Jewish people. So therefore it doesn't pay for them to remain in Hebron so long that they're going to be people who are going to do negative things. So for their safety and for their parnosa, for their income and so forth, they move to other parts of the country. They say they can't be over here because when these things happen, we suffer more than them. So today, I would say Hebron is a city without people. It's a ghost town.
Yeah, Rabbi, thank you. The Rebbe clearly and prophetically was able to see this time of suicidal type of concessions and surrendering abandonments. What was his advice and his counsel as regard to trying to confront this and to protest against it and to stop it? What can we as individual Jews, as in terms of our institutions, in terms of whatever means possible, try to reverse this terrible process that is occurring under Olmert and others?
Well, what I was trying to explain is, I just said it. The Rebbe's opinion was, and this is what I showed Mr. Sharon, the Rebbe told him numerous times, and he was called a Yad Chazakah, a strong hand. You have to be strong, your retaliation has to be strong and complete, don't stop. Many times the Rebbe said you start on a certain campaign, and you stopped in the middle. You were afraid for this one, afraid for that one. And that, in all that, he says, only prove to the Arabs that you're weak. The Rebbe's opinion was that if the Arabs will see that the Israelis are strong in their conviction, and they will do everything that they have in their power, which they have in their power, that is going to hold off the Arabs, that's going to prevent them from doing what they're doing. And the Rebbe said that will stop the suicide attacks, that will stop the rockets, that will stop everything.
What can individuals in Melbourne and around the world in Eretz Israel do, in terms of personal agency and activity, and within groups and with any means that may be effective?
Well, the only thing that I see at the moment, because we are very, very concerned about that, I don't mean the word concerned, but very interested, and we have many meetings with different groups, how to make that effective. But the first thing that we all came to a common understanding, common conclusion, as I said before, we have to voice our opinion that the government should hear, that the people of the Jewish people all over the world see the dangers, they see the results of such type of behavior, and therefore we request of you to abstain and refrain from doing something which is going to be detrimental to the Jewish people and the Jewish state. We have other ideas which we are thinking about, and let me leave you in on this little secret. Before the Gaza exit took place, I personally was in contact with ministers of the Christian evangelists. Because we know that the Christian evangelists are very much for Israel, for Jews. And I was in contact with three, I would say, not the top, but three are very close to the top. And we had different meetings and we were discussing. In fact, one of them undertook to take 100 Christian evangelist priests to Israel and to go speak to Sharon and to the other people of the cabinet, of the government, and to try to convince them how much 50 million evangelists are against him. And he went. He took 100 priests, ministers, whatever they call themselves, and he did meet with Sharon, and he met with the other members of the cabinet, and they voiced their opinion. And in fact, you know that Bush is a member of the Christian evangelists. And I asked them that they should have a meeting with Bush one-on-one and ask him, as a member of the Christian evangelists, a member of this group of people that believe in the Bible per se, and knowing that the Bible says that all of Israel belongs to the Jews, how could he support an exit to give up part of Israel to the Arabs? And he got back to me. And they said that Bush told him that he personally would surely not do so. But as the President of the United States, as one who's supposed to be the greatest power in the world, and to pacify the Arabs, he has no alternative. But he personally would join them in going against it. So we are trying from all different angles how to persuade the Israeli government. And in fact, before I left for Australia, I was in contact with one person who is my contact with these people. But when I get back, we have to meet again to see how we could prevent the next step what Olmert wants to do. So I'm trying to say that what we feel now is that there has to be an outcry from Jews all over the world to protest this what Olmert wants to do. And if there's any other means that we feel that we can do, like people should visit, and while they're in Israel, to try to meet with the different branches of the government, even with Olmert himself, even with the defense minister, and to convey to them, in the name of their membership, in the name of their group, whatever it is, and how many Jews are opposed to it. So this is what we're working on now, to see how all these things could be arranged. So we're trying whatever we can do in different ways, how to get the message across.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if you think that the threat of Iran is much greater than the pulling back from the West Bank.
Threat to Iran.
Huh?
Threat to Iran is greater than the West Bank.
But that's another subject which we're not, at this time, we're not up to that now. That we leave entirely to the Israeli government, because I'll tell you frankly, I don't know too much about it. Because that's a whole different subject, and we're working with certain groups. See, President Bush is having problems with that because there's a conflict between him and the European countries, and especially with Russia and France, who have a different approach to this whole problem with Iran. And and the Israelis are staying, meantime they're staying back from it, they're not getting too much involved. So if they're not getting involved, we felt that the Jewish people from the diaspora, that means in Golis and America and other places, should not get involved without hearing what the Israeli government is planning to do. So at this time, we're following, we're keeping in touch, we're looking after what's happening, but we're not getting, so to say, personally involved to see what we can do, because Israel said that they want to leave it over to America and the other countries. Yes?
You're talking logic. You're talking logic